Hello, everyone, and welcome to this one-part series where the masters are going to be discussing the topic of giving permission from a higher perspective. Everyone on this call is an enlightened master who agreed to participate in this conversation and share their wisdom and experiences around the topic of giving permission. Our intention with these conversations is to look at spiritual topics from an even higher perspective. Please seek out the masters participating in these conversations with master videos. They all have unique gifts, and most of them offer wonderful services. Please look them up so you may learn more about their gifts and what they have to offer. They are identified, including their websites, in the comment section below. So as I stated today, we will be having a conversation about the topic of giving permission. So recently, the council, channeled through Sarah Landa, responded to some questions about manifesting, relationships, abundance, health, and other issues by asking the people or individual persons if they had given full permission for these manifestations. So I thought this was an interesting question, as we assume that if we ask for something, that we must be giving full permission to allow the manifestation. But since it was a higher consciousness asking us this question, and this has seemed to come up of late quite often about giving permission, I started looking at this more closely and realized it may be a fine line sometimes, but are we really giving permission? If not, what does it mean to do so? So I actually channeled something earlier today about what they meant about giving permission, which I'll go into later. But I just want to open the conversation. So fellow masters, what is your perspective on what giving permission means? How do we give permission? And why is it even important?
So I don't want to derail it, but I literally, as I was pondering this topic, I was really thinking that we were talking about when we work with other people or when we intend for other people. And I've had a whole journey with that, like being an energy medicine practitioner and the importance of giving permission and working with somebody's higher self. And this morning, it kind of came into me, and it was like, as I was meditating before our first call, that it was about permission, like giving permission to our guides. And it came to me at that point. But all along, since you first put that out, that's how I was seeing it. And I was like, that's really interesting. And I thought, but we're not all practitioners. And then I was like, oh, that's not even what she's talking about. And as you spoke and were expressing what had sparked this, I felt like a sense of excitement. I always do give permission to my guides and to the angels and to my high self to guide me when I do my daily meditation. And but specific, like I give full permission to be healed in my physical body, or I give full permission for my soul complement partner to come in and be a part of my life and be my partner. I can't say that I've spoken it in that way, and that's where the excitement comes up. It's like, I think permission is really important, and in working with people, but also in being supported by our other dimensional selves, or however we're being supported, angels, ancestors, whoever we're calling in. So yeah, that was kind of a funny thing. I was like, whoa, that's not what she even means.
And it's perfect, because I actually think that's probably what most people, because it's a lot of us with spiritual backgrounds, and that's what we think people have to give us permission to like support them or help them. But that's why I found this so interesting, this sort of concept. It wasn't just that, it was really fully given permission. And I know for me, it came back to too, is there's a whole aspect of control in there. Like giving permission means giving up control.
Yes, but you give up control, but you keep your power.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
See, there's really some power to that. That's, I've said this earlier in other places about this incredible idea that all these people in our life are here for a reason. And sometimes they play roles that seem to be very, what we might judge as negative to us in terms of what they're doing or how they're acting towards us. And in fact, they are playing these roles to help us to be all that we can be. And to give them permission to do that, I'm just thinking this right now, is to literally empower them and empower us to be the highest combination of that interaction that there can be. Because you're giving them permission, they're being all that they're being, and you're learning from it, and you're keeping your power. So you can't change another human being by saying, no, you can't do that. You have to be like this around me. But you can say, I give you permission to be the way you are. And that opens me up to receiving what wisdom you have to offer by reflecting however your actions are.
So that's like the opposite side. So what Melissa brought up kind of was like people giving us permission. You're saying giving other people permission. I think the third part of that, our team, our spiritual teams, the universe, higher conscious, giving them permission. So it seems like there's like almost like a
there is a triangle.
The pyramid, not them, us, but higher up there.
And as Troy was speaking, it's also, there's that aspect of giving ourselves permission to be in a space. Like when we have this resistance, for instance, like to physical pain or to a circumstance that's in our lives or something we're resisting, if we give ourselves permission and we say, I fully give myself permission to be in pain right now, or I fully give myself permission to not to dislike the situation or whatever it is, we open the energy, and so there's that part of I could see it as a reciprocal with what Troy just said. And I have used that a little bit. Troy has brought that up to me in some other situation, and it's like very helpful to just it's allowing, right?
Right.
We're allowing ourselves. Powerful.
The meaning of giving permission fully, it's very, very deep. I have been asking myself, what does it mean to me if I give full permission to something? So I asked that question to myself, and a couple of answers I received. Let me share it with you. Very first feeling that resonated with me is the idea of setting myself free. So when I giving permission fully, means I am pretty much actually setting myself free, releasing myself from any attachments. Secondly, I felt that I was about to commit something. I am just ready about something. And the other feeling I got, so I met a couple of, I was deciding on something. In other words, I was choosing. So I'm about to choose something, so I am ready to give permission. So I was choosing something. And the other feeling I had was when I was giving permission fully, I was declaring my power. And also I was honoring myself because I was asking permission from myself. So I am also honoring myself doing that. And I am taking an action, and I am getting ready to manifest. So now when I hear giving permission fully, the things that I have shared with you, that all resonates with me. And now I see the word permission with a much, much grander perspective. So that's all I have to say right now.
Yeah, it is a much grander perspective. It's such a completely different way, I think, of looking at it that had ever occurred to me before from that level. Just not like, like I said earlier, I think if somebody says, oh, I want to manifest abundance in your life, and you just assume, okay, well, I'm giving you permission since I'm asking for it. But there's a much higher level that we do that. There's a much higher level that includes that, your power and allowing and no resistance and looking at yourself and maybe questioning, am I really giving, have I really given full permission to my higher self, to the universe? Have I really given the full permission? And I think we used to look at that and call that something like, what do they say when you have like old things in your past that you got to get rid of that are like bumps in the way? I'm not explaining that quite right. I think y'all know what I mean. Maybe somebody could explain that better, please. But you got to get rid of these things that are opposite of that. And I think it's kind of like looking at that, but instead of going, something's wrong with me, or I got to heal that, or I got to change that before I can have what I want. You just really, if you ask yourself, am I giving myself full permission? Am I giving higher self full permission? Am I giving my spiritual team full permission? If something's there that's sort of in the way of that, some roadblock, it's going to come up for you and you'll see where your resistance may be. And then, like I said, again, is the idea is if you give full, you could surrender control. Like if I'm giving full permission, I'm not saying, I want that abundance to come in the form of $1 million tomorrow by 3 o'clock. And if it's not from this source, it's not okay, or that source. Like full permission means, okay, I give it to you. I'm giving up my control of what form it shows up in, how it shows up, when it shows up, then that's also complete permission. I'm giving permission to allow it to come in. And like Tori said, that is really, that's power.
It's an act of free will. It's an expression of the free will that is the core of the human experience to say, hey, I'm giving you permission. I'm using my free will to not give up the whole thing and have other people stop. No, I am consciously choosing to give permission for, my higher self or for others to do what they're capable of doing. And it's beautiful the way, and I love it more than just I permit you. I love the give, because the giving is all part of love. It's loving the people who are wanting that permission.
And I just think it's so exciting. Like it just seems really exciting to me. It's like just completely other level, like Ahmet said, and it's other.
Sandy, when you were talking,
Mhm.
I thought of somebody knocking at your door and you said, yeah, you can come in, but the door's locked. Unless you unlock the door, then they can't come in. And it may be your fears or resistance about some of your beliefs, but you have to unlock the door. Even though you give them full permission, it can't come in. It can't come into you.
Or even if you say you're giving them full permission, you got to still unlock the door. I love that. That's such a great analogy. Better way to put it, more practical, what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I totally agree with Dawn with that thing, because with giving permission, really said in a different way, is get out of your own way, isn't it? That's what Dawn is saying. You've got to unlock the door. You could also say, like Abraham Hicks says, you've got to get out of your own way, because if abundance is our birthright, and we are divine love, we are divine abundance, right? So we actually have everything. We know that everything exists, and if we're not experiencing it, it's because we're not resonating with it. So it's not so much giving ourselves permission to access it. It's like, and like you said, Sandy, it's like getting rid of whatever it is that's stopping us from realizing that we already have it.
Yeah, but it may already have it as there we already have it, but we're not letting it in. So we have to give full permission to let it. Yeah.
Council, you use that permission and words fully together. Giving permission fully. Giving permission fully.
And I think also it's got a connection, for me, it's got a connection with self-love, because giving permission, of course, is an act of self-love, isn't it? And we've already talked about it. You said the different types of giving permission, giving other people permission, giving higher realms permission. But, it's about giving ourselves permission. And I think I mentioned in the self-love one, one of the most powerful ways that in my personal experience that I gave myself permission was when my higher self gave my human permission to be human and to express emotions that are considered negative, but you need to process them, and to actually, let myself, as I think I said before, fall on the floor with grief or what have you. That's just, to me, when you first said giving permission, the first thing I thought of was giving my human self permission to be whatever it is that I need to be in that moment. And that's an act of self-love, isn't it? So there's a lot of different ways of looking at it.
Yeah. I think one of the quotes too is like, I was going to read a quote that they had sent out that came from Sarah had sent out from the Sarah Landon from the council. And it says, they ask, have you fully given permission for the highest expression of all that you are to manifest in your life in the most magnificent and magical ways? So it is really a fully giving permission. That's like, not just are we think we are, or we kind of are, but are we unlocking that door?
We can only give that full permission, though, if we allow our worthiness, if we accept our worthiness, if we demand and claim our worthiness through self-love.
So true.
Down your fantastic message regarding the body, your body was talking to you and asking and begging for love from you. I think basically they were asking your permission to heal. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was a fantastic message. So I love the message that you share with us regarding what your body tells you, and then you share with us. Yeah, pretty much they were begging your permission. So they are ready to heal themselves. So they have that power. So all they need is your permission.
You're exactly right about that.
Yeah.
Exactly right about that.
Yeah, it's for those of you who don't have channeled this beautiful message from her body about loving. It's just beautiful. If you go to her website, I'm sure she's got that channel message on your website, right? About loving yourself, your body. She will.
Yeah, fantastic message.
It's a great message. It's definitely worth thinking out and reading. It's beautiful. As I'm recovering, I give my body full permission to heal. Sinus infection I've had.
As Belisa mentioned before, when I started working with the angelic realms, and I knew that they need my permission to work with me, to guide me, to help me. I knew very well about that, but I was just giving myself a permission to heal my body, or to receive well-being, or to receive abundance. So,
but some people probably don't know that we have to ask. I don't think everybody knows that we have to give permission to the spiritual realm. I don't know that people even know that at that level. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, that's the power of free will. Our life is based on the free will. So, like Troy said, so
say more about how one would do that. Let's say no one has even because you're talking at a little bit of a higher level, which is awesome. But for some people who are Troy, who do not even know that you have to ask or give permission.
So in a place where there is total free will, when it's all set up to be free will, it is not in their power of those on they being angels,
Thank you.
what you call inner planes, or galactic beings, whatever, or God, to have them impose their will on us and do things, even though they may know it's for our highest good. It is all part of the human experiment, the human plan, for us to be able to fully experience that power of being free to be who we are. And so part of that freedom may be expecting help from outside, from angels or whatever. But until we give them full permission to help us in any way, including protect us and the like, they cannot impose their will on us, even for a righteous or even for a loving benefit for both, for all concerned. It's us being able to open up to allow that power to be exercised by giving permission.
Thank you. So I know that may be something that seems, but not everybody listening will have known that. So thank you for explaining.
And I think it's a good idea to if it's new, if this kind of thing is new to anybody, some people might ask, how do I give permission? And
My next thing.
personally, I would say the first thing would be affirmations. I'm a big fan of affirmations, and we mentioned Sarah Landon before and giving permission. And one of the most powerful affirmations is I activate my light and allow all that I am. And I've used that one from the council, and it's so powerful. And I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but it's like, I'm ready and willing to step into my full potential is one of my favorite ones at the moment. They're really giving permission. But they come with a little warning, because when you're that open, stuff comes in that you're really like, it just gets better and better and better. But you can't make changes without ripples, so if you are going to affirm something that powerful, just ride the waves first, if that makes sense. But I think affirmations, that's how you would do it, right? You would, whether you sing them or chant them or write them or think them or write them on little post-its, however you do it. But I think it's probably the first step, isn't it? Would anyone agree with that?
I agree with you. I'm sure I talked too much today, but I like to add one more thing.
You never talk too much on that.
Thank
Love
you.
hearing from you. Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you. There's something about giving permission. Needs to be repeated. You can't give permission once and forget about it. You need to give permission every day, sometimes twice a day. If you work with the spiritual realms and angelic realms, you need to repeat that twice a day. And if you work directly with yourself, your body, pretty much every day, you need to repeat that permission. So you give a permission, they're on the door, they come in. So make sure they will come back tomorrow. So you need to give another permission for the next day, or the other permission for the next day. Mm-hmm. So it's very important for repeating the permission.
So how would you give us an example on that? Like one way that you actually say that when you're giving permission for something.
So the whole system, the cosmic system, works on the respect of free will. They respect our free will. So angelic realms, when you open the door for them for a specific a job or guidance, they will do that for a certain time. So and then they will remove themselves and stay on hold. So you need to activate them with your permission to assign another job for them, or maybe the same job to complete. So this is very important. So you need to repeat the permission. So that doesn't mean that you don't trust them, so you don't do the job. No, this is part of the procedure. You have a lot of friends and you need to feed them every day. You need to give them water every day. You cannot give them water and the food and then send them away for a month. So they need our permission pretty much every day. And for angelic realms, from my perspective, twice a day, in the evening and night.
No, I love that a lot. It's funny because my human wants to go, I want to say it once. Okay, I fully give you permission to intervene anytime, angelic realms, anytime in my life, out to whatever, I want to like, boom, that's it. But it doesn't work that way. So thank you for pointing that out.
I guess they have an expiration date on that. Every time it expires at 12 midnight and you start over fresh.
Or the fine print with the poles, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But what I do is I would say that it's most similar to prayer. Um, I when I do my daily meditation practice, I do a meditation, and then in it I include grounding and connecting, and then when I connect, I give permission, but I also drop into prayer, or what would be, that's kind of what you would describe it. It doesn't necessarily look like something you would see happening in a church, maybe, or with a religious affiliation. But, and I use affirmations in that process as well. It's become quite elaborate. There's so many layers of things. Um, and I also include the earth in that. Um, I I ask the earth to come into my body, to come into each cell of my being, and I think that's really powerful, and I feel the energy of the earth coming in with that. But I've been thinking, I'm like, do I use affirmations specifically to give permission, or it's almost, I use affirmations almost like to create a new habit, like to break an old habit, maybe of doubting and denying, and to bring in, a new, I don't know if that's me or not, but I hear a weird sound. To create new habits with my thought patterns. And I'm kind of like, I wasn't sure to answer. I do use affirmations absolutely every day, pretty much all day long. I like remind myself.
And that, I think the affirmations, like you said, that helps take away the resistance. So it's all, to me, it's all together. You have the affirmations and you have the asking and permission and so forth. But affirmations, like you said, the clearing the path, that's going to remove some resistance to asking and giving full permission. So it seems like they're, it's really tied together. So I'm going to just read real quick, and it's probably kind of what I said before, is what they told me when I just was feeling early. So they said, giving permissions means that you fully allow, you are not a resistance, and you embrace maybe that's me with a B. However, the experience you have asked for comes in whatever form it comes. Giving permission means that you are not in control, and you allow the manifestation to come its most high and best form to create for you an experience beyond your wildest dreams, even better than you can imagine. Yeah, just getting to that complete openness and giving full permission of like not having that resistance. But like Troy said, it's powerful. It's it's more powerful because it's not just me. Karen, did you want to say something? Your screen was lighting up.
To me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, your screen lit up. I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah. I say back to the thing about your guidance, your spirit guides, or the realm. The simple illustration that I remember, so that I can practice that or remember that, is the example that I use is, it's like driving a car, and I realize I'm the driver, and then my guidance is the passenger. And so as you're the driver, you choose the destination. And as soon as I choose the destination or the focus, then my passenger, which is my guidance, can then give me feedback or help or participate. But the free will part is I have to choose the focus, give the feedback after I choose the focus. So it's no waiting, because I used to wait. I thought, I was just going to be infused and overtaken, with this instructions about, okay, do this, go here, choose this. But it's not like that. It's we free will or the choosing first, and then you can get feedback. And then the giving permission, the part that I figured out, there's only one little part that caught my interest. I think maybe we were all together or were exposed at the same time. The first time we heard the council use this term, and asked one of the masters, well, have you given yourself permission? And I know I perked up and I thought, oh, a new phrase. Okay. So what's the deal with this? Let's hang in here and see what's up with that. And they talked about it, a few times, but there was only one time that I noticed where they gave a little bit more of a definition. And they said, are you giving, now I'm going to paraphrase, are you giving permission? And to do that, you are not denying your power. So they said what not to do, which is be in denial or basically not feel bad. And so the way to give permission is, are you allowing? Are you in alignment? So I thought, oh, okay. So to me, it's just another phrase, for the same concept of, are you in alignment, or are you feeling good? Are you feeling better? Are you feeling good about your desire, or your mood, your attitude, and your energy? So that, to me, that was the bottom line. And I thought, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That was the scripture. Okay, well, how do you give permission? How is you don't deny and you must allow.
And like Bliss's favorite word, no resistance. Does anyone add anything else to that? Bye, Blissa. We'll see you later.
Bye, Melissa.
Okay, bye-bye.
This may be another session, but what happens when you give permission and you're giving permission and you give permission and the guidance doesn't come, and then you give more permission and you're not feeling it? What happens when
Then
you get in that mode?
To give permission and the guidance doesn't come, you have to say, oh, well, I know that it's happening for me, so I thank that it's not coming, because it means there's an opportunity for something. And if that feels like, oh, relief, then you're actually giving permission about not getting, but
And another thing that just comes to me about that is sometimes when we give permission, we are expecting it to happen in a certain way. So we're saying, giving permission, and we're looking, here's how it's going to show up. Here's the guidance I'm going to get. And in fact, that we're going to feel it. All of a sudden, it's going to pop into our heart or our mind, and there's the answer. What I've found in my life is there's some people close to me that sometimes are just extremely good at giving the answers without even me asking. They'll all of a sudden say something and be the answer. And like, oh, I never even thought of it from that direction. So sometimes give credit to the angelic realm, the fun ways that they can come back and give you the wisdom you seek without you expecting it to just drop into your mind and your heart and say, oh yeah, that's the answer.
And I think that's where the control too, Troy, comes from, that I was maybe not
Yeah.
so eloquently trying
Anyway.
Is it right that not saying, giving permission, right, it has to be exactly this way, it looks this way, a certain way. That may not be in our highest good.
Yeah, let go of the process and the substance of what the answer will be, and the process and the ways by which it will be received. Just be totally open heart to just knowing it will come, and just being excited about it.
Because I know
however
there's
it shows up.
something that I've asked for a while, and it seems like, well, why isn't it still coming? Why is it still coming? And I really had to, when they said that, I had to stop and go, am I fully given permission? And part of that not fully given permission is, I think I still maybe have that resistance, or I want it to look a certain way, or,
Yeah.
and be able to clear those little hurdles. And then like just allowing it to come and relaxing and being exciting. And what Sharon had said too about you just, you let them navigate some.
I was going to share with you an affirmation that I wrote to try to cover all of those things. And I claim my infinite worth and fully give permission for the highest expression of all that I am to manifest in my life in the most magnificent and magical ways. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
That's beautiful. Why don't you read that one more time?
Yeah.
I
Please.
claim my infinite worth and fully give permission for the highest expression of all that I am to manifest in my life in the most magnificent and magical ways. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
Beautiful. And of course, so you're given permission with an affirmation and doing it repeatedly, like Amit said, that. So that kind of brings all those tools that and ways to ask that you all brought up together. I think it's beautiful. Thank you.
I think when you say an affirmation as powerful as that, you really have to surrender, because I still believe that our human mind cannot fathom our infinite abilities. And if you're that open, I think, like I said before, but I just think it's a really important point, is that when you open up to that, the guidance that comes in and the way your life will go, to make the necessary changes, you have to shake your life up. And so don't be surprised if, secure relationships go out the window, your secure job goes out the window, your source of income goes out the window, everything that you thought that you wanted. I had a big experience with let go of the way you think your life should be. You have to let go of the way you think your life should be if you're going to flow with the divine. It's as simple as that, because we can't fathom it, because even when we think we're not having limiting beliefs, we do have limiting beliefs, because we've been brought up this way. We've been brought up with all this programming. So I never believed that I would be in this situation at my age, because I was brought up to believe that at my age they would have X, Y, and Z, all laid out. The truth is there's no X, Y, and Z, but I tell you what, I've just got glorious, something better than X, Y, Z. But you have to be completely like this. So I just wanted to say that, because if people do start saying these amazingly powerful affirmations, Dawn, I think it's, it makes me tingle. But it's important to understand that we're talking about manifesting, and people might have dreams and ideas in their head of what they want to manifest. They say these things, and then one of the reasons that these dreams aren't coming is because you've actually got out of your way and something so much greater is there, but you don't believe it, because you think that's the relationship for the rest of your life, that's the job for the rest of your life, that money comes first, your level of consciousness is your new currency. So there's all sorts of reasons why your life is going to change. So then you have to flow with those changes. And but the thing is, the happiness is there. Sorry.
So fasten your seatbelt on.
That was perfect, Deborah. Thank you. Anyone else heard it? That was awesome. I love. Okay.
Thank you,
like
Deborah.
A great place to. That sounds like a great place for us to conclude. Unless someone has something they want to add to it. That was.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just received a message. I'd like to share. The message says, after giving permission fully with your mind, you need to turn the job into your heart and support it fully with love. Send love right after your permission to make it happen and manifest.
Now it's perfect.
Yeah.
Now it's perfect.
So
Thank you.
I was trying to be quiet, but I was told to
No.
share with you.
Please do not. No, no, that was perfect.
That was perfect, Annette. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
I had to-
yes.
I said I had to write it down.
Oh, yes, I know. I have to go back and do it. I'm going to have to write down your affirmation, put it in the comments for people. All right. Well, I'm going to end the camera. I'm going to end our recording here. Thank you, everyone.